right, so we're here with two prominent figures in their sports world that practice the Muslim faith. We have Eddie Mustafa Muhammad here, as well as Amer Abdallah. First of all, this is for either one of you guys. Just, you know, a lot of Americans or people all over the world that don't study the faith have a misconception. So can one of you tell me what is a Muslim?
Listen, a Muslim is one that submits to Allah, that there is no other God but Allah. That's a Muslim. There's no partners, no nothing.
I believe a lot of people carry the name of Islam and the name of being a Muslim for the sake of just having, as I'm a Muslim, and they live any way they want. But like Eddie said, that a total submission to God, a total submission to a way of life. It's the way that we talk, it's the way that we eat, it's the way that we pray, it's the way that we conduct ourselves every day, that treat our parents. Islam is a religion that's based upon Christianity, Judaism, and of course Islam. They're one religion essentially. It was just because of how many things have changed over time that they all, differed in their perceptions. But Islam and being a Muslim is how you serve your fellow man, how you're able to give back to your community, how you're able to treat your parents. There's a rule and a way of life for every aspect of your life, and that's what makes it beautiful.
Eddie, you said that Islam is a religion of peace. How does a religion allow you to participate in a sport like boxing that's so violent? How do you balance the two?
Well, this is my job. This is what I do for a living. You know, this is what I do for a living. It doesn't, as a matter of fact, it doesn't coincide with me being a Muslim. You know, I can knock a guy out and still say my dua, you know, all things okay. You know what I'm saying? But I think I'm the most humblest person around.
All right, Eddie, you've said that Islam is a religion of peace. How does your religion and your faith allow you to participate in a sport like boxing that has such violence in it?
Well, first and foremost, before we enter the ring, I say a prayer that none of us get hurt. You know, then I go and do what I have to do. You know, and then after it's all said and done, when the contest is over, I go shake, my opponent's hand, and I guess he does the same thing, wants to shake my hand. So, listen, I've been humble ever since I embraced Islam. I'm going to be humble until I leave this earth.
And what led to you, Amer, since childhood, you were raised in the faith. Eddie, you, of course, were formerly Eddie Gregory. What led to the change to you personally?
My older brothers and sisters were Muslim first, and I was always curious. And then, when I met Muhammad Ali, and I started being around him on a regular basis, we always talked Islam. And I knew that was the way for me to go. And
I know, that's awesome.
To this day, the best thing that ever happened to me, not winning the championship, was becoming a Muslim. That's the best thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah. And what do you didn't know that?
No, that's awesome. That's a beautiful fact, man. I have no idea.
Amer, you've been kind of outspoken at times about the preconceived notions of what Islam is. What does that frustrate you that people often think about people outside of your faith?
Yeah, it's ignorant. I don't look at every Christian as a child rapist or as a molester. I don't look at every Catholic priest as somebody that goes outside of his religion. I don't look at every Protestant as a terrorist, as Timothy McVeigh was. I don't classify certain people, and I think it's when less than half of a percentage of people who claim to be Muslims do something that they give the identity of all Muslims and tarnish the name. It's saddening that everybody can follow suit. Everybody needs an enemy. It's easy to point fingers fast, but it's frustrating. And when you really meet a real Muslim who really believes in his faith and lives his life the right way, you can see and easily depict what Islam is and what non-Islam is. I can assure you, and I'll say this in front of anybody at any point, anybody that takes the life of another man or woman of innocence is not a Muslim, period.
And I'll back that up, no doubt.
All right, it almost seems like a gimmick sometimes for some of the people that have made the change. Eddie, you were one of the first guys. You weren't the first, obviously, but one of the first guys that did it in the sport. How did it change you? And do you feel that the same thing as sometimes other fighters do it for less than pure motives?
Well, see, this is I wanted to do it on a big stage. When I became world champion, right then and there, I let the world know my name is no longer Eddie Gregory. My name is Eddie Mustafa Muhammad. Mustafa means chosen. Muhammad means praiseworthy. You know what I'm saying? And I carry that. I wear my medallion every day to let everybody know that I'm a Muslim. And I love being a Muslim. Like I said before, that's the best thing that ever happened to me, to become a Muslim.
And Amer, what about you when you see all these, a lot of the fighters or people in general changing over?
Listen, I love it. I don't know, you know, there was one time where during the times of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, that there was a war, and one of the Prophet's companions went to kill one of the enemies, and right before he killed him, the guy said, "Listen, I believe in God. There's no prophet but Muhammad," and he didn't believe him, so he killed him. And the Prophet chastised him. He said, "Could you see inside of his heart? Can you see what he truly believes? Do you know exactly what what his faith is?" So if anybody that embraces Islam, I welcome him with open arms. You know, I'm not one to judge. I'm going to be judged myself. How can I judge anybody? So, I think that's fantastic. The more, the better.
And Eddie, how has it changed you? I mean, you touched on it a little bit, but how has it changed you as a fighter? Well, at the time as a fighter and also as a man.
Well, it changed me more as a man, for a simple reason. I mean, I'm known all over the world, in places where I would expect that I would never go, but I've met a lot of Muslims from all over the world. And they got to remember there's also white Muslims. There's not just black Muslims. There's Muslims of every color, Chinese Muslims, Japanese Muslims, and our way of life is spread open so wide. You know, you can see a guy walking down the street. He could be Jamaican. He could be a Muslim. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's I keep saying, that's the best thing that ever happened to me is becoming a Muslim.
And then, Amer, how does it help you in your career and in your life?
You know, I feel and I envy Eddie that he made the decision to turn Muslim. I was born a Muslim, so I didn't have to make that choice. And a lot of people that revert back to Islam, because I believe everybody is born a Muslim, and people that revert back to Islam have a deeper belief system, a deeper conviction when they come back into the fold of Islam. So, but in the lifestyle as a man, of course, you know, it's like I said, it's the way I deal with my wife, it's the way I deal with my parents, it's my beliefs within my community for people, you know, anybody that you can have any kind of relationship with. It's a belief system. On a point that Eddie said, that less than 15% or less than 20% of all Muslims are actual Arabs. So a lot of people think, oh, you know, it's these towel heads from the Middle East. It's not. It's not. We make up, you know, less than 15–20% of all Muslims.
All right, then. You know, tell us about the difficulties and prejudices you guys, you guys face sometimes when people find out that you're Muslim. How does it make you feel?
It doesn't. Listen. If you can't say anything to my face, then I'd rather you not to say it at all. You know, if you have a problem with me being a Muslim, come to me and, you know, talk to me and let me enlighten you on my way of life. And believe me, at the end of the day, when I get through enlightening you, I guarantee you, you'll have a different outlook and a different perspective about my way of life.
Mary, I think you add to that?
I come from a smaller community in Western New York, in Lockport, and thank God, you know, I feel that I'm very well respected out there, and nobody has a problem because they know who I am. TSA and the airlines, those are totally different. I'm always the randomly chosen passenger. But you know, I said it before. I'm okay. I'm okay going through anything. I'm okay with the NSA tapping my phone if they need to listen, because unfortunately a lot of the things that they pick up come from Arab backgrounds and this Islamic belief. I'm okay because once they know who I am and once they see what I'm all about, I have nothing to hide. But like Eddie said, the criticisms don't come to my face. I've never ever had anybody to my face tell me, you know, you're a Muslim, go somewhere else. Never. It's always, unfortunately, comes, you know, at a stab in my back where I hear things like that happening.
And then what advice do you guys have for young fighters that might come to you, or people in general, you know, considering them making the switch?
Well, I would let them know what the deal is, what they're going up against. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, Allah is the best planner. They can plan all they want. Allah is the best planner. Again, I'm going to say again, the best thing that ever happened to me, not becoming a world champion, that's water under the bridge, but becoming a Muslim and a good, clean Muslim, where everybody can walk up to me and hold a decent conversation, and I can hold it back at them.
Amer?
I believe the best thing for a fighter is to be a Muslim because of the disciplined lifestyle. There's no room for drinking and partying and womanizing and all of that. So it really coincides hand in hand with a fighter's lifestyle. But that's on a very small scale. On a bigger scale, man, it ties the entire the entire realm of being a good human, a good husband, a good son, a good father, a good brother, a good role model, a good citizen. Anybody that truly wants a true inner peace should really look into Islam, and the real Islam, not the Islam that you hear on CNN and on Fox News. The real Islam. And it's just a beautiful religion of peace.
And the very last thing, Eddie, I think is pretty cool. Tell me about Eddie Gregory versus Matthew Franklin.
Oh, man. Let me tell you something. I can remember that fight like it was yesterday. Bell rings for the first round. I walked up to him. The next thing I know, I'm looking up. He knocked me out in the first punch he threw.
Yeah. Wow.
And as a matter of fact, I got up at the count of 9.5. So I jumped up, and the referee said, "Are you okay?" And I told him, "Get out my way." And I beat Saad for 9.5 rounds because I was so peeved that he knocked me down on national TV. But I went and I fought him in Philadelphia, his hometown. Yeah. So I went over there and I beat him up, and I won the fight, and we became best of friends, and we became Muslim at the same time.
Yeah. So I say, you think that fight maybe led a little bit to that? You guys helping each other out or supporting each other in the?
Well, we supported each other when he found out that I was Muslim, and I supported him when I knew he was Muslim. So to this day, we have a good relationship. If I see him, I'll help him out, whatever he needs. I'm sure if the shoe was on the other foot, he would do the same thing.
All right, guys, we appreciate your time. It's very interesting, and thanks for clearing all this up for us. And anything else you want to add?
No, man.
No? All right, guys, thanks.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.